Hi and welcome. I'm Candy Michael from Powell, Ohio, and I am welcoming you here today. I have a really fun project that I'm going to show you, and that is a box with 4 cards that I'm going to demo. Now, the cards are very similar, and actually, the box is pretty big. I believe you could probably put 4 cards in there. I'm sorry, 8 cards in there if you wanted. I'm doing 4, but I think with the envelopes, I believe you could probably put 8. I did not try it, but it's a deeper box. I'm going to show you the cards first, and I am using our Boho Indigo Medley. I love this set. It is the whole medley, the framelits, the dies, the stamps. They are just really nice, and they have a nice little sentiment for so many different things, and it's just an easy one to work with. So I'm going to show you, like I said, 4 fairly easy cards, and they're all very similar in the template that I used. And then I'll go into the box. So I wanted to show you the colors and the papers that come with this medley. If you have not seen it, it is gorgeous. The designs, they're actually, I have each side up, so you can see the 2 sides. There's 12 different designs, and they are 6 by 6. So when you get them, you'll see they're a little bit smaller than our regular 12 by 12, which Stampin' Up! Has quite a few sets of DSP that are 6 by 6. But the cool thing about this kit is it also comes with 4 different designs of cardstock that are also 6 by 6. I've just already used them, and these were some of the pieces I had left, so I wanted to be able to show you. But they're already embossed for you, and they are very, very pretty, so you can use them on layering your cards as well. They have some little punch outs, and I will be using a couple of these different shapes on a couple of cards. You get 2 of each one of these sheets, which is, it's really nice. You can actually make a lot of cards, a lot of projects, a lot of boxes like I'm going to show you. So you get 2 of each, and then they also have 2 with these beautiful ferns and different leaves on them. So my colors today are going to be staying with the blues, so I ended up not using any of these pieces, but maybe on the box I could have. But anyway, so I'm super excited. It also comes in this medley. You also get this beautiful ribbon, and I will definitely be using these on some of the cards. And you get these cute little flowers, which when I was doing a demo not long ago realized, because I had only grabbed 1 bag, but they're actually 2 different sizes. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but they're 2 different sizes. So it's really cool. And these are very pretty and simple to put on with glue dots and or your multi-purpose glue. So let me get started. I do have a host code. I normally have it all neatly typed out, and right before I went live, I couldn't find it. I know I stuck it in a box and it's not here. So this is my host code through the end of August. And if you want to order anything, you can simply go to my candystampers.com site, and then that will direct you to my Stampin' Up! Site where you can place an order. And then you can use this host code if it's an order under $150. If it is over $150, you do not need to use the host code. So thank you, and thanks for shopping and stopping, and I am going to stamp. So the ink color that I'm using today on all my cards is our Night of Navy, and one of the things that I wanted to do was I was going to re-ink it because I realized when I was making my cards it wasn't as juicy as I wanted it to be. And then I thought I may as well show you in case you've never re-inked your ink pads. I do get that question often. So you will use the Stampin' Up! Night of Navy, obviously the same color, re-inker, and you don't want to put too much on there. If you get your stamp pad too juicy, then when you ink it tends to make quite a mess. So you simply don't want to shake your jar or anything, but you just simply want to slowly squeeze it and just scribble. You don't need a lot, and literally that's all I need. If you feel like you need to add more, you can, but I've also put too much on and then I've had to blot it off because it can get very messy. So that's all you have to do. Very easy to re-ink your stamp pads. Depending on, I have people ask me, like, how often do you have to do that? And there's really no answer. It just depends on how much you use it. But I do suggest when you buy your ink pads that you also buy the re-inker to go with it. That way, if you're in the middle of a project or making like all your holiday cards, that if you're running low on ink and you just don't have that vibrant look, that you can grab your re-inker and re-ink it and be happy with the outcome. So, hi Charlotte, hi Deb. Oh, I know, I love this set too. It's really one of my favorite. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to do. Now, interesting, when I was putting this together, I decided to not make a sample, but to just go ahead and stamp, and then those will be my samples as I'm done. And then you'll be able to see me actually create it and put it all together. So crossing my fingers, this all goes well. All right, so the Misty Moonlight cardstock is one of the colors that belongs in this medley. And that and the Night of Navy also are a couple of the colors. There's Garden Green and Whisper White, I believe. And what's interesting is when you work with this paper, some of the paper, it says vanilla, and like the pieces that were in here are vanilla. But I found that the white worked well with some of them. So you'll see I've kind of interchanged the vanilla and the white to make it just pop more. Hi Ida, hi Jennifer. So just bear with me as I go through it, but it'll be either white or Whisper White, and then I'll see which ones you guys like better. So this is my insert piece, which I'm going to just set aside for now, but that one goes in the middle. My first layer is going to be the Night of Navy, and it's not a huge pop of color there, but it really looks very sharp together. And I am using the multi-purpose liquid glue. Love this stuff. Later on, I'll also be using our terrible tape is what I call it, for the box. But for now, I'm going to just simply use the multi-purpose glue because it's nice and easy. All right, so this has one of the sheets. And again, the designs are so pretty, and it just depends on what you want and which one you like. They all go very nicely together. So my base is 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. My next layer is the 4 by 5 1/4, which is just the next layer on top. And then my designer paper on all of these cards, I cut them down just 1/8 smaller. So this would be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I did that because I just wanted a little hint of that navy coming through. I didn't want it to be really dark. So I know some people, we talked about this last week, don't like working with those little 8ths and 16ths and all of that. So you do whatever works best for you. But this was exactly the look that I wanted. Isn't that pretty? Just love their designs that they chose. Okay, so my next layer, this is the Night of Navy again, and the designer series paper. Some of them are very dark, and some of them have a little more of the vanilla or the white behind it. On this one, I couldn't quite decide what that color was. This small piece is 3 inches by 2 3/4, and then my layer on top again is cut down by 1/8, so it's 2 7/8. Sorry, 2 7/8 by 2 5/8. And again, because I just wanted a little hint of that navy. So you guys are going to love this. It is so simple. And I thought, well, why not stick with the same design and just do that all the way through? So this piece, I am going to pop up with some dimensionals. You guys know I love my dimensionals, and they're nice and sticky. So I'll go ahead and pop that up. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And I know some of you ladies on here where you're from. And if there's any guys on here where you guys are all from. Let's see. So I'm just going to kind of put this right about there. Now, I used our ribbon. The ribbon in this whole medley is really pretty. This navy is a little thicker, so it's kind of hard to wrap it around. But what I'm choosing to do is I'm going to just layer it on the top and give it a little angle cut. Let's see if my scissors are sharp. Yes, they are. So I just cut it in a little angle, and I'm going to layer that there. I find that the Terran tape is easy to work with for this ribbon. You can use this, but you have to be careful to not put too much on because then it becomes very wet, kind of soaks it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the Terran tape because it works really nicely. So let me get that sticky off of the back. As I say, it works great because it will hold it down. And I think you can even use some glue dots. But I have to fight with the tape here. Okay, I have it. So I put just a little bit of tape on there. Probably should have put some back to this side, but that's all right. Oops. I'm unraveling my ribbon. Okay. I will put that down. Just about there. Now for my circle, I used a piece of the same background, the Misty Moonlight. I love that name. And I'm going to just kind of hang that over the side. So I think the dimensionals will be good because that ribbon is a little bit thicker. So let's try this. And I think I'm just going to hang them on the top and not worry about where it sits on the bottom. So we'll just make it like that. Okay, so this is where I have a question for you guys. I'm going to stamp the stamp out of here, which is this. We're making this the birthday card. So this is a bunch of birthday love to you. And my question to you is, I'm going to do it on vanilla, but I may want to try it on the white and see which one you like better. So for now, I'm going to just lightly tap this, and it's going to be juicy wet. So let me stamp it off and just make sure it's not too blobby, too blobbish. I love being able to make up my own English language. As my husband says, you make up the weirdest words. And I love him. So that, I did put a lot of ink on there, but that's okay. So here's my question. Do we like the vanilla on there? Because I feel like this paper in the background has a little bit more of a white tone to it. Or do we like it on the white, which I'm going to stamp this again. And we are going to bring out the new machine. And then you guys can tell me if you like the vanilla or the white better. But first, I want to stamp this. Cut this out with our new die cut machine. That leads me into starting September 1st. You can buy the new Stampin' Cut machine from me. And if you purchase it from me, I'll give you free shipping on that order. Woohoo! That is a biggie. Okay, so this machine is awesome. I'm hoping you guys can see this. Let me pull my camera up a little bit because, sorry, I'm gonna make you a little dizzy here because I need to have a little more room. So this is the machine. You might have seen it already and seen some beautiful photographs of it, but it's nice. The sides flip down. So it's nice and portable. And Stampin' Up! Was genius because they came out with all sorts of instructions on here on how to use this. And it'll tell you if you're doing just the embossing folders, you would use this. If you're using the dies, then you would use this platform along with the base. And then it gives you the plates that are numbered as to how to use the cutting mat. So it's just genius in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and layer this, and then I'm going to add my, let me see in the camera if you guys can see this. Oh yeah, you can. I'm going to add my little circle on here. This is from the Stitched Shapes, which is my favorite. And I can see on here, you guys, I put too much ink on there, but that's all right. Hopefully it's dry. So we're just gonna run this through. And voila. Did you hear how quiet? Did you hear how quiet it was? That's funny. Okay. Let me pop that out. I'll move this, but I just had to demo it because it's an awesome machine and you will not go wrong. I know my poor Big Shot has seen better days. It's been used so much and I love that machine, but it will be retiring very soon. Okay, so my stitch shaped framelit, cut this piece out. Now here's my question to you. So here's the card we're working on. I put this on originally and was curious if you like the vanilla. Oops, let me bring you back down because now I'm sure you're too far away. Sorry, hang on here. Not to make you dizzy. And tightened. Hi, Paula. Hi, Susan. Yes, new plates. Can you believe that? That's what new plates look like, you guys. Okay, so I have the vanilla one on here, or do you like the white better? So you guys have to comment and tell me which one. Personally, I think I like that white one because it just feels like it pops more. But you guys tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll glue it down. So now I'm going to get ready for my... You know what? While you guys are commenting on that, I'm going to glue in my centerpiece here, my inside panel. I do love to finish my cards off with an insert when I'm using darker cardstock. It is you can write on that, but it does have a nice finish to it when you just put on a little insert panel. So I know the middle here is vanilla. The outside could be either one. You like the vanilla because it will match the inside. That's true. The vanilla, and you like the white, Deb, and Jennifer likes the vanilla. So really, you guys, I don't think I could go wrong. But you know what? You're probably right, Jennifer, that it will match the insert that I just did. So white, I have a white, a white, a white. Yeah, and then I could change the inside later. Oh, now I'm so confused. All right, I'm going to just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, close my eyes, and I did grab the white. All right, so we'll just do this, and it doesn't matter if it's matchy-matchy on the inside. But yes, on the next card, or when you guys make them, you can change them up. So there. Isn't that a nice, simple card? So my other cards are going to be the, hi, Linda from Idaho. Good afternoon. So my next cards are going to be the same design pretty much of each card, but I did each one a little bit differently so you can have another idea. So this one will be our, let's see, I have a couple stamps. This one is the Such Happy News stamp. So again, now this one I did use the vanilla because those pieces that come with this medley, I decided to go ahead and use some of that in this when I did this card because it all comes in there. So you guys cannot go wrong getting this medley. I'm telling you, you will love it. It comes with the dies, the stamps, the flowers, and these great little punch outs that you can use, the banners and flowers and things like that. So I'm going to use a little bit of many different products that are in this particular medley. And I love using my little bone folder, make it lay down flat. Okay, so again, we're going to put down our Night of Navy right here as my front layer base. Do both white and vanilla border. Oh, there you go. That's a good idea, Melissa. Thanks. Okay, so now I'm going to put that down again. The the Night of Navy. And then I have my designer series paper. It's so hard to choose all of these different patterns. And some of them look a little more busy. I can't remember now if it was this one. I do believe I had this side up, but that's awfully dark. Let me see. Well, we'll just go for it. I think it was this side up. Can't go wrong. And again, it's going to be the same template of card that'll go on here. I just didn't want it to look too busy. So I cut the DSP down an eighth smaller than that base there. And again, this will be my front piece. So the Night of Navy on this front little piece is 3 by 2 3/4. And then my my DSP on this one is 2 7/8 wide by 2 5/8 tall. And then this will also pop up. But on here, I wanted to add a little bit of ribbon to kind of break that up. And so because it's so thick, I don't want to wrap it around. And so I'm just going to glue it down to sit there. And then I'll be able to pop this up right over the top. And then I'm going to do some stamping. So let me get that ribbon on there very quickly. And then I'll pop up my, my little front piece there. So this is a little tricky getting the this little bit of paper off of the back, but I think I've got it. Yay! That was only because I pulled it up closer to the camera. I know, I love the blue too, Linda. All right, so let me go ahead and put this down. And it can just go anywhere you want. So with this, I'm going to pop it up, and I always have to remind myself to be careful not to put any dimensionals where the ribbons are, because it'll make your popped up part very uneven. So I'm going to go around the ribbon, if that makes sense. So when it goes down, it's not going to be on the ribbon at all. Doing these cards for so long, I've done them where I've put one in the middle and then everything else is off because this ribbon is thicker than normal. Okay, here we go. Next, I'm going to use one of the punched out pieces from the designer paper that we have. And again, I'll show you, not the designer paper, from this actual medley. So Stampin' Up! Was brilliant in bringing in some of these tags and some of these little embellishments for the front. A couple of flowers, just very, very pretty. And that gold looks really nice with some of the other gold ribbon as well. So for here, we're gonna go ahead and stamp the Such Happy News. And hopefully, I didn't over ink my stamp, but sometimes I'll go off to the side a little bit where it's not as juicy as it was in the middle. So I think I'm in good shape here. So with this, oops, I want to get those. I missed my P. There we go. Now I want to simply stamp that. Come on. There, Such Happy News. And these cards were meant to be very, very simple. So I can either pop that up or just lay it down, which I'm going to just lay it down, make it flat, because I feel like I have a lot of dimension going on already. So here's this, very simple. Let's see, I had a couple of the little pieces laying around. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So that one, again, was just meant to be very easy. And I did all of these with the same fold, that they all go upward. Yeah, I suppose we could do some sideways too, but I made them all to go upward. So you'll see what we're going to do with these when I'm done. So I have another one. I did 4 cards for you guys. This one is going to be the thank you. We're going to use the thank you out of that set. And I found, because my cardstock is so dark, the Night of Navy, that I decided to use the vanilla, so I didn't have to guess on this one. So I did use the vanilla as my insert and on my front panel. So I'll show you how I designed all of this. And I'm going to go ahead and can't wait to show you guys this box. Okay, and do this. There we go. Nice and straight. So again, this designer paper is simply pretty. And it was a darker piece that I wanted to use, so I decided to go with that vanilla to make it pop out a little bit more. Sometimes a little lighter color is what it needed. Okay, and this was supposed to be, let's see if I can get this off really quick, because I realized I have a ribbon I was supposed to put down. I'm sure none of you have ever made that mistake. So pretend I didn't show you that part already. So we're going to put the ribbon on before we glue it down. I'm so glad that I am the only one that makes these boo-boos. And you guys can see in real life, it happens a lot. That's all right though, I can make it work. So I need to put this on straight because I can see my tape through the front. So I do like to use a tape when I put my ribbon on. I know some people like glue dots or they'll use their regular adhesives. For me, I just want to make sure this thing is not going to go anywhere. So I can use my tape and just secure it down. Whatever works for you is what you need to do, right? Now, I'm going to bring my base back and simply glue this on. I'm so glad I used this glue because I was able to just rip that card apart. Did you guys notice that? We could probably do an instant replay, but that's all right. We don't have to. I cracked myself up. Okay, so here we go again. I'm using this time my Misty Moonlight base here, and I'm going to use this pretty designer paper that is in that grouping. And it was really fun, you guys, to sit here and kind of match up all the papers and say, oh, I like this one, I like that one, this one goes nicely together. It's kind of fun to play matchy-matchy. Now, again, I'm going to pop this up using my dimensionals. Okay, Glenda, we'll see you in a little bit. She had to go somewhere. Okay, so just easily put them on the corner so it'll go around the ribbon again. And this will be very simply right about there. Looks good to me. Okay, now I'm really excited about this one. This one is going to be our thank you. And it's a really small stamp, which is great. And so I decided to use this little punch out that we have. I was very excited to actually use the pieces that come with it because I can't tell you, I'm sure you guys do the same, that I'll go and cut another piece or try to find the right tag. And I thought, man, all this stuff is right at our fingertips in this whole medley. I need to just go for it and use it. So that's what I did. So the ink again on all of these is the Night of Navy because it just goes perfectly with this the whole thing. Now it may still be a little bit wet, but I'm going to, I think I'll lay it flat. You can do it either way, but I already have some dimensionals on there, so I don't want it to be too tall. But that's the nice thing is everybody can make their own choice when they're making these and see what works best for them. So on this card, isn't that cute and simple, you guys? So on this card, We also have some of these flowers, and they have a smaller one, and they also made us a bigger one. So there's 2 sheets, so you would have 4 flowers, 4 big ones and 4 small ones. But I thought this was just so cute that I can add a little pop. And this I will pop up because why not? So I did put a little dimensional on the back. And then I can add a little flower pop right there. So there's another simple card for you. Okay, this is card number 3. How am I doing so far? Hope you guys like them. Okay, the 4th one is coming. So let me set my ink pad aside here so I don't put everything in it. So when I did all this, of course I have to sort them all, or I'd have 1,000 pieces laying around the table and I'd have no clue which one I decided to go with what. So excuse me as I sort and put it all together here. All right, so this one I did decide to go with the Very Vanilla for my inside panel and on the out. So I will simply get my insert. Now on these, you guys, you can always take a scrap piece of your paper, of your designer paper, and just add a cute little 1/2 inch right there and jazz it up a little bit. I didn't think of doing that on this card, but you certainly can. So here I'm using, again, my vanilla that is 4 by 5 1/4, and pretty much all of these cards are following the same template. And then my designer paper that goes on top of this is an 1/8 smaller. I don't know if Casey's on here today, but she said she doesn't do 8ths. So you can make it any size you want, Casey. But this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 is what I did the designer paper. And that way just a little hint of that vanilla will show. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Linda, for the sweet comments. Oh, you guys. I'm supposed to do the ribbon again. See what happens when I get busy talking? So now I have to do the instant replay of pulling this card apart. Show you how I can do that. Oh, Lord. You know, I just start talking and get carried away. It's all right. I've got this. Oh, I've done many surgeries on cards. Many, many, many. So I'm going to simply tape this on. Tape on my ribbon. Tape on my ribbon. Like this has never happened before. Only 5 minutes ago. Okay, now I'll put some more glue down and fix my little boo-boo here. See? All better. You guys didn't even see that, right? Okay, so on this one, I was trying to decide if I wanted the Misty or the Navy. And I don't know, which one do you guys like? This is the way it's going to go. It's going to go like this with the Misty on the background. Or it's going to go like this with the navy in the background. So which one do you like? Hi, Casey. Do you guys like the navy background or the Misty one? I have to see which one I like better. I don't know. They're both in the air. So I did do this one just a little bit differently than the others. So I have the same base piece that is my 3 by 2 3/4, and then my vanilla is the next 1/8 down, which is 2 7/8 by 2 5/8, and then that makes this front piece my 2 1/2. 2 1/2, is that right? I'm looking right at my ruler, but I didn't write this one down. 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. Navy, navy, navy. Okay, that's the only ones I can see. That was my thought too. I think it just made everything pop. So let's go with the navy. Thank you. That one definitely That one definitely, I think, was the winner. I'm not looking at all the comments. So when I pop up, look, oh yeah, hands down, you guys are all navy. When I look up, sometimes some of the comments have already scrolled past me, so I can only see a few, but that's cool. I appreciate it. Okay, so look, here we go. We have just another little piece on here. I'm going to pop this up again with more dimensionals. And boy, do I love those dimensionals. I think I go through so many. I was looking for an open package and I went, oh my goodness, I must have used them all again. That's okay, that's what they're for. Okay, so here's that. And then for this last one, I've used every one of the word stamps in here on these cards, and I'll bring them back in just a second. So we already did the birthday, so much happy news, and thank you. And now we need a sorry you're feeling blue. And I just think that's so cute because everything in here is blue. Blue, blue, blue. So let me go ahead and ink this one up. I do like to stamp it off a little bit because, not stamp it off, but just stamp it because I can see I'm not getting the ink on there evenly. Before I stamp it on that tag, I hate to waste a tag, right? So we'll go ahead and put this on here. Voila. And now my stamping is done for all of that. For all my cards, I should say. All right, now on this one, I did want to cut another little piece of ribbon. I thought it would be fun to put that on the top of this card. And do just a little differently than what I did on the others. So hopefully this ink is dry. This paper seems to have a little more gloss to it, so it may not be, but it's all right. Oh, this ribbon is kind of cool. It's kind of spunky. I don't know if you've ever worked with spunky ribbon, but that's just the word that came to my mind because it is being spunky and flying around. Okay, it's very pretty though. Spunky and pretty. And I'll just kind of pull it up here. Now I am going to shorten that because it's just a little bit too long. It looks like my card has wings on it. There, that still looks okay. And then on here, you can either glue it down flat. It's gonna give me fits here. You can glue it down flat or you can pop it up. But because I have the knot in there, I'm gonna go ahead and just glue it down so it's flat. Put that right about there in the middle. Super cute, you guys. These cards are super simple. Oops. I was trying to read what you wrote, Casey, but I couldn't read it fast enough. No, there we go. Okay, so I am going to add one of these cute little flowers. I think I'll do the tiny ones because they are adorable and we didn't add any on any of the other cards. So let me find my glue dots. These have like a little felt, they're like a little felt backing, or the flower itself is. And then they have a little bead on them, so they're super darling. And I think, let's see if it needs the three of them. Oh yeah, it needs three, but that one has a funny bead. So let me get this one out. Like I said, I didn't make the samples. I just knew what it was that I wanted to show you guys. So I'm not following a sample. I'm just following what I kind of had put together yesterday as I was cutting and just laying them all out. So not bad. It's working. Okay, so now I'm in glue dot heaven and my little flowers. Isn't that cute? So this ribbon, I'm going to have to play with that, but you get the idea. I could have pulled it through and wrapped it around, but that little spunky ribbon it's fine. And I think I want to cut it down a little bit. It's kind of long. So I hope you guys like those cards. I tried to do them pretty quickly, but I'm looking at the clock. Felt like it went fast, but I really want to show you this box, and that's going to take me a little bit of time too. So let me set this aside because that's going to drive me nuts. All right, here's the 4 cards very quickly. The birthday, happy news, the thank you, and sorry you're feeling blue. So those are the 4 cards for this particular project that are going to go into my box that I'm going to show you really quickly. So I hope you love them. I will be photographing these tonight and putting them all up on my website because I'm not leaving here until I get that done for you guys. All right. So do I show you the finished box first? Yes, I decided yes. This is the finished box. Now, Deb and Ida, I know years ago we did this box in a class, but I have not done it since. And I was very excited to bring it back into the boho colors. So this is the lid, and I'll show you how I put it all together. And then I do have a little surprise. I didn't tell you about that. I do have the little insert that I put in, and then that way I can put whatever kind of a treat I want. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Mindy. Thank you. And I did just throw in 5 of the envelopes. And again, I couldn't decide vanilla envelopes, white envelopes, but because the box base, I did it in white, I went with the white envelopes. So I'm going to show you, look how nicely those fit. I think you might even be able to get 6 in there very comfortably. So let me show you how I did this box and the cute little treat as well. But for now, I'm going to set that aside. Okay, guys, get your pens out. But again, I'll have this all on my website. I promise you, I am not leaving here tonight till it's done. Okay, so I used 2 full sheets of cardstock. The lid is Night of Navy. There are my measurements. I will read them off to you. And the base is Whisper White. Okay, so you need 2 full sheets of cardstock to make this. So this is 8.5 by 11, and it is scored. Casey, you're going to have to count those little notches on your ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you're going to have to count those 16ths. So this one is scored at 1 7/16. Did I do that right? So it's the little notch right below the 1.5 inch mark, okay? And I'm pretty sure I did that correctly. All right, so now we are going to, I've already done that. I've already scored it. I've already gotten all that done for you. And when I get back to the Whisper White one, I'll give you those measurements. So on here, we want to cut just 2 sides of these. So I don't know if it matters which one, but you want to cut it right up on the score line to where the other score line is. So if you've made boxes before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you want to flip it all the way around and do the opposite side. Because if you did this side, you're just going to cut those little squares out, and we don't want to do that. So you're simply going to just cut up so that your pieces look like that, right? Okay, and then you want to go around with your bone folder and you want to go on those score lines, use your bone folder, get a nice, good crease, everybody. Okay, this is the lid. And I just grabbed it because it was on top. So I'm going to now fold these in just like that. And so I want to use a strong tape. So I'm going to use my tear tape. And I know it's here somewhere. I just used it. it hiding? Oh my gosh, it was right next to my elbow. Almost bit me, it was so close. Okay, so the tape has to go on this side, and I'm trying not to make this too long for you guys because it's super cute and really fun to do. And so often we're looking for a fun project, like a box of some sort. Ida and Deb, I don't know if you guys remember doing this. It was one of the classes that Mindy and I did a long time ago. And I had the template, so I thought, you know what? I'm bringing it back. And you, if anybody wants, you can make your own class out of it, or make this as a gift for friends, and just make it up for anybody, neighbors. You could put all sorts of things in here. You could do it even without the insert and do all sorts of things. Why don't you guys list what kind of things you could do? Because it's a good size box. It really is. Oh Lord, can't get the sticky stuff off of me. So tell me what other items you think you could put in there. And it's kind of fun using up our cardstock. Just 2 full sheets and a little bit of designer series paper does the trick. You can make it as simple as you want. All right, I'm almost done putting this part together. Oops, I don't want that to be that long, because then it'll have glue on the wrong side. Okie dokie, almost there, guys. So tell me what other things. And I do love the idea of cards, of course, because that seems like that's what we're always making. Cards, scrapbooking type stuff, photographs. All right, you're simply going to then just take and push these pieces together. Just like that, and make your box, okay? Can you see how I'm doing that? I'm sure you've done these before. But just in case, that's how the lid goes. I kind of tore my box. Okay, so on this lid, I'm gonna go ahead and decorate it, and then I'll show you how I did the bottom. So on this lid, I want to add in my designer paper, and then this, have another piece cut here. Where did it go? Oh, I see it. This, where I joined it together in the middle here, is going to be covered up by a larger die. So that's the good thing, is nobody will see it. Unless I take it apart. But on this one, all we did was just take it under here, use the tear tape, and then we're gonna wrap it around to the middle. Okay, I'll do that super fast. And then I will show you how, let's see, this side. Okay, so I want it over here. And you only need a little bit to go underneath the lid. And then I'll show you how to do the base. The base of the box and how that all joins together. And you'll have your own cute little box that you can make up for all your favorite people. The holidays coming, I think you can come up with some fun things. Okay, come on, sticky strip. Right before I came over here, you guys, in my backyard, my niece just moved in with us. She's from California. And in the backyard, there was a mama deer and her 2 babies. And we sat and watched them have lunch. We had lunch with them, actually, I guess. But it was the coolest thing because, you know, you don't see that in Los Angeles. You don't really see deer running in your backyard or hanging out, munching on your trees. So for her, that was like the coolest thing ever. So I just started down here and wrapped it around and then brought it to the middle. You can always put more adhesive on here if you want, but you want to make sure you have enough. I'm doing it this way because the boho paper only comes in, oops, I should start it up here so I make sure it matches. The boho paper comes only in the 6x6. And so if you have 12x12 paper, you won't have this issue. But with it being just 6x6, I needed it to join like that. Okay, how am I doing so far? Woohoo! We got that together. So I'm going to just finish my lid because then I can move on to show you my bottom. I knew that sounded really funny. The bottom of the box. Oh, Lord. Sometimes you have to think twice before you say anything. And I'm just going to throw these all over because I can. I still have to be the one to clean it up, but that's okay. So again, this is our Misty Moonlight cardstock, and I used the nesting dies on there, okay? I already stamped this, and I remembered that I wrote on the back that this is Tasteful Labels, and the stamp is from the happiest of birthdays. See? Happiest of birthdays. This is a great stamp set, by the way. You will love it. And then I simply just, that's my little cheat notes so that I could tell you guys what these stamps are because, or dies, because to tell you truthfully, I can't remember. I just can't remember. I'm not even gonna try. Okay, and then your box lid will look like this. We did glue on with the glue dots these extra little flowers, and then we added some bling to the bottom. Marcia helped me with this. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you that's exactly what I did to put this part together. All right, now to show you the base. So this is an 8.5 by 11, and I did use the scoring on this is 1.5 inches in, and you go all the way around on all the sides. Man, I tore this box apparently, but that's all right. This is my sample. So on this one again, we're going to fold it up. We're going to cut like this on both sides, and then I am going to just grab the box that's already done so I don't have to show you that part again. I'm sure you guys have done boxes before, and if you haven't, this is a really fun one to play with because it's a good size box. Fold this up, put your adhesive on the inside piece right here and here, and then you're going to glue those down. Just like that. And then you're gonna do the same on this side, okay? So just like I did on the lid that I just showed you, that's what we're doing on the base here. So there's the bottom of your box, that's what it looks like. And then the top will just fit right over, okay? So now let me show you how I did the insert. So this insert piece, it's a little confusing and there might be an easier way to do it. This is the Candy Michael way, just saying. So this is 8.5 by 5 1/8, or sorry, it's 8 1/4 by 5 1/8. It's scored here, you can't really see it, but it's scored at 5 3/4, 6 1/8, and 6 1/2. And I did that so that I could make a little peak thing in the middle. I'm gonna call it a peak thing, but it's actually a divider. Again, I do have my own language. I think we all do. Nothing wrong with that. Hopefully I just folded that on the right part. 1, 2, and 3. And I will show you this as it's all done. So with this, what you need to do is take that peak. It's really not that hard, you guys. I'm going to do it this way, so that'll be the bottom. So you're going to make this into a peak right here. As soon as I get a hold of it, just like that. So that is basically what I was making. Does that make sense? So, and then once I made this peak, I'm going to glue it down. But once I made the peak, I needed it to be taller. So the Candy Michael way was to add an extension. All right, so I'm simply going to just fold this over. so now I have my peak. And then what I did was cut another small piece, 5 1/8 by 2 1/2, and then I just scored it at 1 1/4. So again, I'll have all these measurements on my website here when I'm done. And what I did was I just glued this piece, it's my extension, to make my divider taller. So it's like that. So when it sits in the box, because the box was so deep, that's how I made this divider taller for my cards to fit in there. Okay, so I'm not going to spend the time to glue that because I'm hoping you understand how that went. So here's my piece. It's much taller now, and I made it a little bit shorter so that depending on what you're going to put over here, you'll have a little more room. So again, we have our envelopes. We have our cards that I'm super excited about that we just made. And then I'm going to show you one more little surprise, and that is a little candy holder. Now this one has a little bit, it's a handmade one, and I had gotten it a long while back as a swap. Here it is what I made. And I did it very fast, very quickly, because I wanted something to fit in here. So you may have other ideas of a little candy holder, but this was what I came up with. I had gotten something like this years ago, and I had it in a folder, and I ripped it apart and tried to recreate the size because it was obviously hand done. So I'm going to explain it. Hopefully it'll make sense, and I can just show you how I quickly put it together and made that as my little piece for my box here. And again, you guys, I'm sorry, I did have the measurements. Here they are. So that's a weird measurement. Hold on, I think it's 9 1/2. Let me look. I don't know why I would have done an 1/8 on there. It is 9 1/2. Where's my pencil? It's 9 1/2 inches long this way. And then it is 2 3/4. 2 3/4 wide. Okay. Now what I did, and you might have some kind of a die that does this, but this is all done manually like we used to do years ago, right? Do you guys remember that? There were no die machines. We did everything hand cut. So I'm going back to the old times, and I had a blast with this. So I created a little template, as you saw, and this is what I came up with based on what I had gotten before. So I'm going to cut this at 9 1/2, and I've already drawn it out on here. Now, here's the tricky part. You want to cut this down. You can do it by hand, or you can do it with your cutter. But you want to cut it only to this line and cut it over here to this line, because this part will actually get scored and gusseted, and it's kind of cool. I was very excited about it when I found it. Oops, that's a score tool. I don't need that. I need to cut. I need the real cutter here. So I found if I did it this way with this type of a cutter, it was so much easier, because now I can see where I am and where I need to start. So once you get it like that, then you just want to simply bring it in and kind of line that up and get your scoring in there. Okay, like I said, you guys, this is like the olden days when we used to just do all this stuff and totally enjoy it. Now for this one, I can go ahead and finish cutting. So we just simply line this up and cut. Looks like I need a new blade. All right, so bear with me, I'm almost done, and this is gonna be really fun. Okay, so basically all you do is just cut along here. Cut along here, if you see my little pencil lines, and I will take a picture of all of this for you. And now you have, oh, darn it. There was one more score line I was supposed to do. And this just makes it easier to fold this. But if you bring this back and line it up right here, you'll have one more score line and then do the same on this side. Hope you guys can see this. Right about there. And I always have to make sure I don't have my cutting blade right there. There we go. Now I have all my little pieces. Okay, so now with my little bone folder, this is super cute. This will have come up like that. But now we just need to create our topper. So this piece here comes out to be 2 inches because it fits in this punch. Thanks, Jennifer. And punch that. Now, you guys, this will get the tape. It'll be taped on. We will punch this out with a little circle punch. I did use a 1.5 inch circle punch just to notch that out. Just like that. You're going to put your tape down here, tape it down, and now you can add your ribbon and create your cute little candy treat, which is just like this. So all we did with this one was we just took our little pieces, and I'm not going to glue it down because you guys know how it all goes, just by looking. But we did all of this, and we added our little extra ribbon and created our little candy treat. I wish we still had those 2x8 cello bags because those would have been perfect in here. But this is what I did. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. My next live will be next Wednesday, September 2nd at 4:11. So make sure you tune in for the 411 on my next stamping project. Thanks again for stopping. Have a great day. See you. Bye-bye.